Hello, my beautiful ones out there. So, in the last message, I talked about listening to that still small voice, learning how to hear God's voice better. If you have not listened to that message, go back to that one and then come back to this one. Especially if this message is, really touches home for you. Well, this message, some of you have heard God tell you a certain date that something will happen. He is giving you a specific date or a specific time of year or a specific season. If this is for you, it will make sense for you. Okay. If it doesn't make sense for you, then you can keep listening because you may need this down the road, but this is definitely for those that God has given a specific date or a specific season that something specific is supposed to happen. You have the date, and the thing is, now that God has given you a specific date on this thing or the specific time for this thing, use this time to prepare for it. Now, a lot of you that have heard this specific date or time of this thing, you don't trust it because you've been disappointed before. Because if the previous message touched home for you where you got tricked by the enemy thinking something was going to happen and it didn't happen, you were disappointed. But if you have really been taking practice and paying attention to that still small voice, and that still small voice has given you a specific date or a specific time for something to happen, start preparing for it. I can tell you my own life, whenever God is telling me that I'm about to get ready to move, this been right every single time, whether I wanted it to happen or not. And the thing is, whenever that used to happen before, like, I don't know, for some reason, like when it used to happen before, I had a lot more faith and would actually take action towards packing. And then when I actually did move, it was less work that I had to do because I listened to that instruction. And for whatever reason, in the last few years, whenever I've heard that, because I've had so many disappointing things happen in my life, it was I mixed those disappointing things with hearing something that I know has run true before. And I would still end up moving, and then I'd be like, God told me to start packing and I didn't listen. Now it's harder to do because now you're in rush mode because because I wasn't prepared for it. I'm speaking about my own situation. I'm just using this as an example. So I'm telling you, if God has been telling you about something specific that's going to happen, start preparing for it now. Start preparing for it now. It may be something that's going to happen 6 months from now. And you're thinking, number one, you may be impatient about it. You're like, why do I have to wait so long for this to happen? But here's the thing. God knows the exact amount of time that you need to prepare for it, and for it to be prepared for you if it's dealing with other people. Okay. And it could be dealing with other situations. It may be like if you're trying to buy a building or something, it could be that the building won't be ready to be leased to you until that time because there's other things that have to happen that would make it better for you at a much later date. That's just an example. Maybe that is for somebody out there for me to say that example. But anyways, don't be impatient about it. Just start preparing for it. You can't rush it. Okay. If God told you it's going to happen at that time and it's not as soon as you want it to be, I don't care what you do. Don't try to rush it, because here's the thing. If you try to rush it, you may make it get further delayed because you put your hands on it, on something that wasn't meant to have your hands on. Okay. So take your hands off of it and prepare for it. Okay. And just trust that it's going to happen at its appointed time. Don't try to rush it because you're going to make yourself miserable, or again, you're going to delay it. I don't know why I had to repeat that, but whomever that's for needed that extra repeating. Take heed. Okay. Take heed. Okay. See, the dog in the background agreed. Okay. All right. So you all be blessed, and I'll talk to you again really, really soon. Be blessed.